So the next match on court on quarterfinals day here at the 100th All England Championships. The #1 player in the world, Lee Chong Wei of Malaysia, up against the qualifier from Korea, Shon Wan Ho. So the players on court in the white tracksuit is Lee Chong Wei, the world #1. He's been world #1 since his defeat in the Olympic Games in Beijing. Now, if that sounds a bit odd that he's been world #1 since a loss, well, I can tell you that overall he really has been so consistent. 7 titles last year, 9 finals in total. Well, that's why he is world #1. He started this year 2 Super Series events and 2 Super Series titles. Won both the Korean Open, beating Peter Gader in the final, and then the Malaysian Open, where he beat Boonsak Ponsana. Well, as far as the Malaysian is concerned, Chetan Anand from India in the first round, that was pretty convincing. But really, my attention is drawn to that second-round victory against Sonny Dwi Kunchoro of Indonesia. Of course, Kunchoro was the 2004 Olympic bronze medalist. He was silver medalist at the World Championships in 2007. And he disposed of him 21-11, 21-17. It was a very, very impressive performance. So, as far as the qualifier is concerned, 2 qualifying matches. He went the full distance in both of those. I can tell you, in the opening round against Hans Christian Vingegaard of Denmark, saved 2 match points. In the second round, he played the #2 seed of the qualifying, Wacha of Poland. As you can see, 3 games there. First round of the main draw, Chan Yan Kit of Hong Kong. And then last night against Chen Long, the former world junior champion from China, 1 hour and 16 minutes, winning through 21-19 in that deciding game. Well, he's had a tough tournament so far, I think we can safely say that. Shon Wan Ho, there he is, 21 years of age. This is his 5th match in 4 days. First ever Super Series quarter-final appearance. Last year, he was runner-up at the Osaka International. But this man, Lee Chong Wei, should I say Datuk Lee Chong Wei of Malaysia, reached the final of the All England Championships last year. Lost out to Lin Dan, and I can tell you that the big news from one of the adjoining courts is that Lin Dan has been beaten in his quarter-final match against his teammate Bao Chunlai. The battle of the left-handers there on the adjoining court. And a huge, huge surprise to many people, the world and Olympic champion Lin Dan defeated. So no doubt Lee Chong Wei will have been aware of that, and perhaps giving him even more inspiration, because Lin Dan has been a bit of a bogey player for him to play against, and therefore now that he knows that the one player that he's really feared is out of contention, he's out of the tournament, perhaps Lee Chong Wei will gain even more in confidence. Well, lots of strapping on legs and arms. Senior, our umpire, Phil James, the service judge. So the young Korean, well, what a moment for him. His first 2 Super Series events of the year. Lost in the first round of his home tournament, the Korean Open, and then lost in the qualifying of the Malaysian. Here he is in the most important Super Series event of all, and he's in the quarter-final.
On my right, Shon Wan Ho, Korea. And on my left, Lee Chong Wei, Malaysia. Shon Wan Ho to serve, love all, play.
So the qualifier from Korea, Shon Wan Ho, nearest to us in the yellow shirt, up against the world number 1, Lee Chong Wei of Malaysia.
Service over.
The Malaysian.
1 love.
2 rounds, very convincing. First 2 matches, an hour and 5 minutes in total. As far as the Korean, well, he's playing his 5th match in 4 days, and his 4 previous matches have all gone to 3 games. He's been on court for just 3 minutes shy of 4 hours. Now, surely, I know the Koreans are fit. Their fitness levels of the badminton players are just awesome, but surely that must be taking its toll coming into this match. For any player playing against a world number 1, you have got to be on top form, and if you're a little bit heavy in the legs, it's going to have a big effect, surely.
You would expect so, yes, but it must be quite inspiring for this young boy to be in the quarter-final of the All England. It'll be interesting to see whether he reacts. He might struggle a little bit. He's got a lot of excuses. He's played a lot of matches, but on the other hand, he could be inspired by the environment. This is the biggest tournament in the world, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah, now I know that you and I chatting before all the quarterfinals got underway, and you were saying that you've been watching this young lad from Korea quite a bit in the last couple of years, and just tell us a little bit about his qualities then, or what areas of his game you think that need working on.
He plays a very typical Korean-style game. He's very, very solid, very, very good defence, good physical levels. Not a very explosive attack, I would say, as a lot of the Korean players. But in defence, as we can see there, very, very agile in defence. But he's a player that the Koreans have been talking about for 3 or 4 years now. Had a good junior career, and I've seen him play a few times in the Korean Super Series qualifying, and he's really quite impressive.
All good. It's incredible to me because, I mean, I think Korea managed to somehow produce these good players time and time again. You know, I'm thinking about the winner of the East Asian Games in Hong Kong in December. Comes out and wins a gold medal. His first ever international tournament. A young lad called Choi Ho-jin, left-hander, beats Lin Dan, the reigning world and Olympic champion, in the final of the East Asian Games. Where are these players coming from? Suddenly, without the experience of playing lots of tournaments, they're managing to win big matches in big tournaments.
I think that's the mentality of the Koreans. Korea are a country that like to do a lot of preparation with their young players rather than send them to a lot of tournaments. They like to train them. They like to make sure that they're in very, very good condition, and they've attained a certain level before they give them the big trips and the travel and the glossier side of the game, shall we say. They like them to have the bread and butter first. Good solid base technically, good solid base physically, before they send them out.
257. Doing 160 miles per hour.
6-4.
And already we're seeing a good example of Shon's mentality here. First 2 or 3 points, Chong Wei away quickly, a couple of winning shots, but Shon keeping the shuttle on the court, keeping working, picking up 1 or 2 cheap points, and suddenly he's in the game.
Fault.
Fault called.
Service over.
I think
5-6.
probably for taking the shuttle before it had crossed over the net. Or maybe for hitting the net, not sure. No, missed.